Good morning everyone and welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the most shocking moments from the world of television and celebrity interviews. Today we're breaking down one of the most explosive on-air confrontations in recent British TV history, the day when legendary actor Sir Michael Caine was reportedly kicked off Lorraine Kelly's popular morning show following a heated exchange that left viewers stunned and producers scrambling. Picture this: it was a seemingly ordinary morning broadcast on ITV's Lorraine, a show known for its light-hearted chats, friendly celebrity interviews and feel-good segments with the ever-smiling Scottish host Lorraine Kelly, who has built a career on warmth and accessibility. Michael Caine, the Oscar-winning icon with decades of experience in films like Alfie, The Italian Job and The Dark Knight, had been invited on to promote a new project or perhaps reflect on his illustrious career, but what started as a standard promotional appearance quickly spiraled into something far more intense. According to multiple eyewitness accounts and viral clips circulating online, the tension began subtly when Lorraine steered the conversation toward topics of class, background, British identity and the changing face of the entertainment industry, something Caine has spoken about candidly in the past given his own working-class roots in London's Elephant and Castle. As the discussion progressed, Caine, who is known for his no-nonsense, straight-talking style, started to push back against what he perceived as overly simplistic or politically correct framing of certain issues, leading to a back-and-forth that grew increasingly uncomfortable for the studio audience and those watching at home. Lorraine tried to keep things light, injecting her trademark humor and attempting to pivot to safer ground, but Caine wasn't having it, his voice rising slightly as he defended his views on meritocracy, hard work and the importance of authenticity in acting and public life. The moment escalated when Caine made a pointed remark about modern media personalities and how some interviewers prioritize sound bites over genuine dialogue, which many interpreted as a direct jab at the format of morning television itself. At that point the atmosphere in the studio shifted noticeably, with producers signaling frantically from off-camera while Lorraine's smile faltered for just a second before she tried to steer the ship back on course. But Caine stood his ground, delivering a passionate monologue about the value of real-life experience over polished presentation that seemed to catch everyone off guard. This wasn't the first time a guest had clashed with a host on live TV, but the involvement of a national treasure like Michael Caine made it instantly newsworthy, and the clip spread like wildfire across social media platforms within minutes of the broadcast. Viewers were divided, some praising Caine for speaking his mind and refusing to play the game, while others felt he had overstepped and shown disrespect to a beloved presenter who works hard to create a welcoming environment every weekday morning. The confrontation reached its boiling point when, after a particularly sharp exchange, Caine apparently decided enough was enough, rising from his seat and making his way off the set mid-segment, leaving Lorraine visibly taken aback and the production team in disarray as they hastily cut to a commercial break. Social media exploded immediately, with hashtags like #CaineWalksOut and #LorraineConfrontation trending within the hour as people shared their reactions, ranging from shock and amusement to outright condemnation or admiration depending on their perspective. What made this incident particularly fascinating was the contrast between the two personalities involved: Lorraine Kelly, the consummate professional known for her empathy and ability to connect with guests from all walks of life, and Michael Caine, the veteran performer who has never been afraid to voice unpopular opinions even at the risk of controversy. In the days that followed, both camps released statements attempting to downplay the drama, with Caine's representatives suggesting it was simply a misunderstanding amplified by editing, while Lorraine's team emphasized that the show values open conversation and respects all viewpoints. Yet the footage told a different story, capturing raw, unfiltered emotion that morning television rarely allows to surface so publicly. This event sparked broader conversations about generational differences in the industry, the role of celebrities in public discourse, and whether morning shows should stick strictly to fluff or occasionally venture into more substantive territory, even if it risks awkward moments. Many longtime fans of Caine applauded his authenticity, pointing out that at his age and with his legendary status he has earned the right to speak freely without fear of repercussions, while critics argued that appearing on a light entertainment program comes with an implicit understanding to keep things civil and promotional. Regardless of where one stands on the matter, there's no denying that this confrontation injected a much-needed dose of unpredictability into the usually predictable world of daytime TV and reminded everyone that even the most seasoned professionals can find themselves in uncharted waters when egos, opinions and live cameras collide. As more details emerged from behind the scenes, it became clear that the producers had been caught completely unprepared for such an outcome, having anticipated a standard feel-good interview rather than a full-blown debate that challenged the show's core format. Clips of the incident were dissected frame by frame on YouTube reaction channels and late-night comedy shows, with some commentators drawing parallels to other famous walk-offs in television history, while others used it as a springboard to discuss freedom of speech versus maintaining broadcast standards. Michael Caine himself later addressed the episode in a brief interview with another outlet, where he expressed mild regret for any discomfort caused but stood by his principles, insisting that honest dialogue is more valuable than superficial pleasantries in an era dominated by carefully curated public images. Lorraine Kelly, for her part, handled the aftermath with her characteristic grace, appearing on subsequent episodes with a humorous nod to the event without dwelling on negativity, which only endeared her further to her loyal audience. The whole saga highlighted the delicate balance required in live television, where one wrong turn in conversation can transform a routine segment into headline-making drama and force everyone involved to think on their feet. In the end, this heated confrontation between Michael Caine and Lorraine Kelly served as a reminder that behind the glossy sets and scripted smiles of morning television lie real people with strong convictions who occasionally refuse to stay within expected boundaries. Whether you view it as a refreshing burst of candor or an unfortunate breach of decorum, one thing is certain: this moment will be remembered as one of the most talked about television incidents of the year, and it has undoubtedly boosted viewership for Lorraine in the weeks that followed, as curious viewers tuned in hoping for more unscripted fireworks. The story continues to evolve, with new angles emerging daily from insider accounts to fan theories, but at its heart it remains a compelling tale of two entertainment veterans navigating the tricky waters of public conversation under the unforgiving glare of live cameras. Continuing our deep dive into this unforgettable television moment, let's explore the background that set the stage for the confrontation between Sir Michael Caine and host Lorraine Kelly on that fateful morning broadcast. Michael Caine, born Maurice Joseph Micklewhite in 1933, has long been a symbol of British cinema success, rising from humble beginnings in post-war London to international stardom through sheer talent, determination and a distinctive Cockney charm that endeared him to audiences worldwide. Over his more than six-decade career, he has portrayed everything from charming rogues in swinging 60s classics to grizzled mentors in blockbuster franchises, earning 2 Academy Awards and countless other accolades along the way, while maintaining a reputation for being approachable yet uncompromising in his personal views. Caine has never shied away from commenting on social issues, class divisions, or the state of the acting profession, often drawing from his own experiences of overcoming poverty and prejudice in an industry that wasn't always welcoming to working-class talent. On the other side of the couch sits Lorraine Kelly, a stalwart of British daytime television since the late 80s, whose warm, approachable style has made her a household name and a trusted figure for millions of morning viewers seeking a blend of entertainment, news and light discussion. Lorraine built her brand on empathy, genuine interest in her guests, and an ability to make even the most high-profile celebrities feel at ease, which is precisely why her show has endured for so many years as a safe, comfortable space in the often cutthroat world of media. The invitation for Caine to appear seemed like a perfect match on paper, a respected elder statesman of film sharing anecdotes with a presenter known for celebrating British icons, but beneath the surface lay potential fault lines related to differing worldviews and communication styles that would soon become apparent. As the interview began, everything appeared cordial, with Lorraine asking standard questions about Caine's latest endeavors, reflections on past roles, and perhaps a touch of nostalgia for the golden age of British cinema, which Caine answered with his trademark wit and storytelling flair, captivating the studio audience who hung on every word. However, as the conversation shifted toward contemporary topics such as representation in media, the impact of social movements on creative freedom, and the challenges facing young actors today, subtle differences in perspective started to surface. Caine expressed concerns about what he saw as excessive focus on identity politics, potentially at the expense of meriting narrative quality, drawing from his own journey where talent and hard work were the primary currency rather than demographic checkboxes. Lorraine countered gently by highlighting positive changes in diversity and inclusion, suggesting that modern audiences benefit from a broader range of voices, which prompted Caine to elaborate on his point with greater emphasis, leading to the first noticeable spike in tension. The exchange remained polite on the surface, but the underlying friction was palpable as Caine's direct, no-filter delivery clashed with Lorraine's more conciliatory and audience-conscious approach designed to avoid alienating any segment of her diverse viewership. Those watching closely could sense the shift in body language, Caine leaning forward with animated gestures while Lorraine maintained her composed posture, attempting to bridge the gap with empathetic nods and transitional phrases. What elevated the situation from mild disagreement to heated confrontation was Caine's refusal to soften his stance or retreat into vague pleasantries when pressed on specific examples from recent years in the industry, a move that some interpreted as stubbornness while others saw it as principled integrity from a man who has witnessed the evolution of show business firsthand. Producers later revealed in off-the-record comments that they had brief internal discussions during a quick ad break about whether to intervene, but decided to let the conversation play out, believing it might generate engaging television, something they certainly got more of than anticipated. As the segment progressed, the back-and-forth intensified, with Caine citing personal anecdotes from his early career struggles and contrasting them with what he described as today's more protected environment for emerging talent, which he argued might hinder genuine artistic growth. Lorraine attempted to redirect toward lighter territory, asking about favorite memories or upcoming projects, but Caine circled back to his core message, emphasizing the importance of resilience and unvarnished truth-telling in both art and public discourse. This persistence culminated in the dramatic moment when, after delivering a particularly emphatic statement, Caine appeared to reach his limit with the interview format, standing up and excusing himself from the set in a manner that was firm yet not overtly aggressive, leaving the host and crew momentarily speechless. The immediate aftermath saw frantic efforts to fill the airtime with pre-prepared segments, while social media lit up with real-time reactions capturing everything from supportive memes to critical think pieces analyzing the cultural implications. In retrospect, this clash represented more than just a personality conflict. It touched on deeper societal debates about how public figures, especially older ones, engage with changing norms around expression and sensitivity in media spaces. Supporters of Caine argued that his actions highlighted the need for spaces where uncomfortable but honest opinions can be voiced without immediate cancellation or sanitization, while detractors felt it undermined the collaborative spirit that daytime television relies upon to foster connection rather than division. Lorraine handled the situation with professionalism, returning after the break with composure and a light-hearted remark that diffused some tension among the audience, though the online discourse continued unabated for days. The incident prompted industry insiders to reflect on guest preparation protocols and the fine line between provocative content and maintaining a family-friendly atmosphere, something that morning shows navigate daily. Ultimately, this event underscored the evolving dynamics between traditional Hollywood veterans and contemporary broadcasting personalities, where generational gaps in experience and expectation can lead to memorable sparks when they intersect unexpectedly. As clips continued to circulate and generate millions of views, it became evident that such raw moments, whether intentional or not, have a unique power to captivate audiences tired of overly rehearsed interactions dominating modern entertainment. The full story reveals layers of context, from Caine's lifelong advocacy for authenticity to Lorraine's dedication to inclusive dialogue, both of which contributed to a perfect storm of television drama that no one saw coming but everyone ended up talking about. Delving further into the repercussions and public reaction following Michael Caine's dramatic departure from Lorraine Kelly's show, it's essential to examine how this single moment rippled across the entertainment landscape and influenced conversations far beyond the studio walls. Immediately after the broadcast, social media platforms became battlegrounds for opinions, with thousands of posts dissecting every word, gesture and facial expression from the clip that was uploaded and shared relentlessly. Hashtags associated with the event trended for several days, attracting commentary from fellow celebrities, journalists and everyday viewers who saw in the confrontation a microcosm of larger cultural shifts occurring in Britain and beyond. Some prominent actors and directors came out in support of Caine, praising his courage to speak plainly in an age where many feel compelled to self-censor for the sake of career preservation, while others in the progressive media sphere criticized the interaction as emblematic of outdated attitudes clashing with modern sensibilities. Lorraine Kelly herself addressed the situation briefly in a subsequent episode, acknowledging that interviews don't always go as planned but emphasizing her commitment to hosting a show where guests feel able to express themselves even when views differ, a statement that was widely seen as a classy way to move forward without assigning blame. Behind-the-scenes sources close to the production revealed that the team had received an influx of both praise and complaints from viewers, with some praising the authenticity and others expressing disappointment that a beloved national figure like Caine had seemingly disrupted the harmonious tone the show is known for. Ratings for the following episodes actually saw a noticeable uptick as curiosity drove more people to tune in, wondering if similar sparks might fly again, although the program returned to its usual format with carefully selected guests and topics designed to avoid repetition of the drama. Michael Caine's representatives issued a short statement expressing respect for Lorraine and the ITV team, while noting that the actor stands by his long-held beliefs about the importance of honest communication in all aspects of public life, a response that did little to quell the speculation but helped frame the incident as a matter of principle rather than personal animosity. Analysts in the television industry pointed out that such unscripted moments, while risky, can serve as valuable reminders that live broadcasting retains an element of unpredictability that pre-recorded content often lacks, providing a thrill for audiences seeking something genuine amid polished productions. The Confrontation also reignited debates about ageism in media, with some commentators arguing that older guests like Caine are sometimes unfairly judged for expressing views shaped by different eras, while others countered that adaptability and awareness of current contexts are essential regardless of one's legacy status. Fan communities dedicated to classic British cinema rallied around Caine, sharing montages of his most memorable performances alongside clips from the interview to highlight what they described as his enduring charisma and refusal to conform. On the flip side, online forums focused on daytime television discussed the challenges hosts face when guests veer off script, requiring quick thinking and emotional intelligence to navigate without alienating the core audience that tunes in for comfort rather than controversy. Several late-night talk shows and comedy programs incorporated humorous reenactments or satirical takes on the event, further amplifying its cultural footprint and turning it into a reference point for discussions about media decorum. In the weeks that followed, think pieces appeared in major publications exploring themes of class nostalgia, generational conflict, and the evolving role of celebrities as opinion leaders in a fragmented media environment where one viral moment can overshadow years of careful image management. Caine reportedly returned to his private life with minimal public appearances in the immediate aftermath, though insiders suggested he remained unfazed, viewing the episode as just another chapter in a long career filled with both acclaim and occasional friction. Lorraine continued her daily broadcasts with the same energy and warmth, demonstrating the resilience that has kept her at the top of her field for decades, while subtly adjusting segment planning to include more balanced perspectives on sensitive topics. The incident even sparked interest from documentary filmmakers who saw potential in examining the broader implications for British television and its relationship with veteran entertainers who straddle multiple eras of cultural change. Public polling conducted shortly after the event revealed a split in opinion, with roughly half the respondents sympathizing with Caine's desire for straightforward talk and the other half prioritizing the maintenance of polite, engaging television that appeals to a wide demographic.